Thank you for all of those stories. My name is Karen Moratz. I'm the Executive Director of Jewish Community Action. My name is Karen Moratz. I'm the Director of Jewish Community Action. Thank you. I think many of us here tonight feel something when we hear those stories, and I think about my own community's history. It's been painful for many of us in the Jewish community to have our trauma and how we're allowed to talk about it used as a ploy and a distraction to keep us from fully engaging in the truth about what's being done to detainees in concentration camps. The truth is that many communities, many here tonight, many who've been on this land, have stories of detention and dehumanization, family separation, persecution, and genocide. And we can't allow ourselves to isolate those stories or to position them as unique and historical circumstances if it keeps us from seeing the warning signs and clear implications that it could be happening again. The purpose of remembering our pain is not to put it in a glass case, but to make sure that we stop and prevent the pain of others. When the Jewish community says never again, that must mean never again for anyone. I'm here tonight representing Jewish Community Action, who has worked for many years for humane immigration reform and justice for all immigrants. This is a priority for us as Jews. Our text, the Torah, is very clear on the treatment of the immigrant, the stranger. Among our commandments, this one is issued 36 times. More than any other topic, this is made clear and it is important. Exodus says, "You shall not wrong a stranger or oppress them, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." Leviticus says, "The stranger who resides with you shall be to you as one of your citizens. You shall love them as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." We are commanded many, many times to welcome the stranger and to love them as ourselves, for we were strangers once. And in this commandment, there are actually two jobs: to insist and to fight for the humane and compassionate treatment for all migrants, and to never forget where we came from or how we got to where we are. Now, immigration is not the story of all American Jews. Some of us come from families who are native to this land, and some of our families were brought here as enslaved people. But it is a story that many of us do share, and it has not always been easy or straightforward. We have been the stranger, and we have not been welcome. In the 1920s, the United States passed, at the time, unprecedentedly restrictive immigration laws with the explicit aim of keeping out immigrants considered undesirable, specifically and especially Jews. The passage of those laws kept some Eastern European Jews from coming to the United States, but not all. Many came anyway. And it's estimated that in the decade before the Holocaust, tens of thousands of Jews fled to the United States from places like Russia and Poland to escape religious persecution, economic hardship, and violent pogroms. These were families like mine. They came even though the law did not welcome them. Of course they did. Many of us are here tonight because they did. And we remember and we welcome the stranger. But I've been told this is the faith part, not the political part. And it's meaningful. It's so meaningful to be speaking with you now as the sun is setting and we're beginning Shabbat. Shabbat, which begins at sundown on Friday and runs through just after sundown on Saturday, is our holiest day. It's our day of rest, and it's the day on which we end our week, and we shrug off the week. For some, it involves prayer. For some, it involves reflection or simply rest, but it is a day on which we Jews are commanded not to do what some might consider work. And at the time that was codified into the Ten Commandments, that was a radical idea. The Jewish people had just been freed from slavery, and we have now been commanded not to labor for 25 hours. And this is a moment of liberation, and it is a moment of justice. Right. On Shabbat, we are not workers and we are not bosses. We resist the idea of human capital, and we cease to control the movements of any human. For Jewish Community Action, for me, Shabbat exists as a moment of social justice, a time to reflect and envision what a just world could look like. And I am so honored to be here with you all to begin it together. Now, we traditionally begin Shabbat by lighting candles. Many in our community are already in shul or at home doing that, and many of you are here and have missed the opportunity to do that. So as we light our candles, we're going to say the Shabbat candle blessing. And I'm going to say it, and if your observance indicates it, and if you so choose, I invite you to say it with me. Where's Imogen with the candles? On-air production meeting. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner Shabbat.
I'm Reverend Kelly Clement. I'm the Social Justice Minister at First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis. I am meant to offer a prayer here, but every word we have heard, every song we have sung has been the prayer that is needed tonight. The witness, the testimony that was just read from people who are suffering the incarceration, the detentions, that's the prayer. There are no words beyond that. So let me say to you, beautiful people, people of faith and people of no faith, may we use these lights to illuminate the history of resistance. May we use these lights to see in each other's faces a beautiful, mighty, weary, strong, scared, mighty, connected community. May we know that these lights we kindle tonight are joined with those at, we heard 788 other events, maybe millions of candles across the globe that say no more. Our humanity demands no more. Again and again and again across the history of humanity, we demand no more. Something is being illuminated here. For some of us, it's new. And for some people, you've been lighting the way for a long time. May we see in each other's faces the strength of the ancestors that has gone before, and continue the light, and continue the light, and continue the light. Say it with me. And continue the light, and continue the light, and continue the light. We will now have a couple of minutes of silence as we move into this time of vigil. Blessed be, and amen.
All right, everybody, that was 2 minutes. That's harder than it seems to stay silent that long. We have 2 other speakers that would like to say a brief word, and then we'll be done. And then I'll come back with next steps.